Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where I'm working with you step by step through each of the ABRSM Theory grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets. These are available in US letter or A4 to accompany each step in this series. You'll find a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also find out about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and hints on how to best be prepared for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time come exam day. So if you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find it's all there. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel and share out the videos. And now we're going to get cracking on paper B of the 2019 grade 5 practice paper, the past paper from 2019. So if you turn with me to page 11, and we'll make a start at this first question. So these questions on this page are, first of all, referring to this little extract of music here. So we have to answer these questions referring back to this little extract of music. And so the first question asks us to put in two changes of time signature. Well, two time signatures, one here and one here. So let's have a look at this first bar. Our first job is to decide if we're counting in crotchet beats, quarter notes, or minim beats, half notes, or even quaver beats, eighth notes. So first of all, you think, well, let's have a look. So we've got a minim beat there, a half note. That would make another one. That would make another one, but then we've got this one crotchet, this quarter note left, so that won't do. So we're going to have to count in quarter notes or crotchet beats. So our bottom number is going to be 4. So then now we know what we're counting in. The job isn't too difficult. So this is worth 2 crotchet beats, 2 quarter notes. There's one, there's one, there's one. Half as much again because of the dot. With this quaver, this eighth note gives us a beat, and then there's one here as well. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over 4. Once you've got your bottom number, the rest of it's easy. So let's continue and let's just go for it in crotchet beats, quarter notes here. So we've got one here, we've got one here, we've got one here, and then half as much again gives us a half a beat. And then we know that 2 semiquavers, 2 sixteenths give us another half of a beat. So those two give us a beat. And then these 2 quavers or eighth notes give us our next one. So what have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 over 4 works for us spot on. There we go. That's that done. So then question 2. We need to write as a breve, a double whole note, an enharmonic equivalent of the first note of bar 2 marked here. So first job, watch out what clef we're in to begin with here. So we're in the bass clef, and it's also important to keep a track on where we are in relation to middle C so that we don't lose our octaves, and so we stay in the right sort of range of pitch. So here, this is the F sharp because of the key signature below middle C, and so it's helpful to visualize this on a piano keyboard, so you can always just sketch one out quickly. And so F sharp could be called G flat, or we could also call it E double sharp. Any of those will do. So if we're going to go for the G flat, so this is the F sharp that we're on, so the G flat will be this one as a breve or a double whole note, and then we just need to flatten that. So that will do. Or alternatively, you could put the E just underneath that and give it a double sharp. So either one of those two will answer that question just fine. So let's press on to the next question. So we're asked how many demi-semiquavers or 32nd notes are the tied notes in bar 3 marked with this bracket here. So these tied notes here. Now, I find it easy to diagram this out just because maths is not my strong point. And so I'm just going to diagram out a crotchet beat. So first of all, let's see, we've got 2 crotchet beats here, or quarter notes. There's a half of one, there's a half of one. So we've got 3 quarter notes, 3 crotchet beats all together. I'm going to just diagram out one just to save space. So we know that 1 quarter note, 1 crochet beat, is the same amount of time as 2 quavers, 2 eighth notes, or 4 semiquavers, 16th notes, or diagram it out again, and that gives us 8 demi-semiquavers, there we go, 8 demi-semiquavers or 32nd notes. So that's 1 crochet beat. What we know here, we've worked out we've got 3, so 8 times 3, 3 eighths are 24. So that's our answer there, 24. So let's just move up a little bit. So then, complete this sentence. All the notes in this extract can be found in the scale of what melodic minor? So let's see what clues we've got here. So the clues we've got are, we have a key signature of 3 sharps. Now this is where it's really helpful if you can have your circle of fifths already sketched out. I would always use a bit of scrap paper and just sketch out your relative major and minor keys. And if you're not sure how to do that, have a look on my playlist for the video Music Theory for Everyone, and the video is the circle of fifths, and I explain to you how to just quickly get this list down, and then you've done your thinking all in one go. So you know that 3 sharps is A major or F sharp minor, just so you've got all of those keys to hand. So we're going to be thinking hopefully an F sharp minor. Let's just see what other clues we've got. So we have an E sharp here, and that would make sense because if we're in F sharp minor, E sharp is the raised 7th, taking us home to the tonic F sharp. So that's easily accounted for. What else have we got here? We have a C sharp. Now this is a little bit of a red herring here because that C sharp is kind of redundant because it's already accounted for in the key signature. So that's not really doing any special duty. So don't get thrown by that. That's already dealt with there. That's not really doing anything. So we can ignore that because we've already taken that into consideration with our key signature. So we have a D sharp and an E sharp. And so if you're thinking in the scale of F sharp minor, this is the 6th degree of the scale. If you think about it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th degree of the scale here, that's D sharp. And then the 7th is E sharp, that's the raised 7th. So actually the melodic minor would have the raised 6th and 7th in the ascending version, which is exactly what's happening here. So we're spot on to say F sharp, or use the symbol F sharp melodic minor. So that's dealt with. Let's move on to the next question. And now we have another little extract of music to be looking at. And then we're answering a couple of questions here. So then, we're told that the extract begins on the first beat of the bar. We're given the time signature. We just need to put in the missing bar lines. So let's do that. So this is common time, which is the same as 4/4, 4 quarter notes, 4 crotchet beats per bar. We've just got lots of little divisions here of demi-semis and semis, 32nd notes and 16th notes. So we're just going to have to be careful with our maths here. So let's just count everything out, a diagram out, just to help me keep a track of where I am. So we know that 1 minim, 1 half note divides into 2 crotchets or 2 quarter notes. We have a half of a beat here and a quarter of a beat here. And then we know that 2 demi-semis, we've already worked that out, 2 demi-semis give us the same amount of time as 1 semi. So that's another quarter of a beat. So altogether, there's 1 beat. And that helps us because we know that we beamed correctly in quarter notes or crotchet beats. So there's a beat, all there. And so we can pretty much guess that that's a beat there as well. But let's just check that out. We have a half a beat here. We know that 2 demi-semis, an eighth of a beat each, will give us a quarter. And there's a quarter as well. So there's our beat. So we can see at a glance there's 1 beat. If you find that really difficult to just hold in your head, I would just diagram it out even further and think, well, there's a beat that I'm dividing into quarters. So let's just allocate the beats here. We have half a beat here. We have a quarter of a beat here. And then we have 2/8 of a beat here. And then we can see we've got a whole beat. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. There's our first bar line. So I think that's most of the hard thinking done, because we can see this rhythm keeps repeating. So we can see 1 beat. That's 1 beat there. Same rhythm again. 2 beats. Now we have half a beat rest. And then we have a quarter of a beat. And 2/8 giving us of another quarter. So all together with the rest, that's a beat. And again, we have the same half a beat rest, a quarter of a beat, and then 2/8 of a beat gives us another quarter. So there's our next beat. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's that one. And then here, we've had this timing before, you can see. We've already done the maths for that, so we know that's 1 beat. A half and a half gives us a beat. Now here we have a quarter of a beat rest, a half of a beat note, and then we know that 2 demi-semis give us our quarter of a beat. So there's a beat. And then 2 halves give us another beat. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, and we know that we're correct now. So if you get stuck somewhere around here, you could always work backwards from this bar line just to double check yourself. And so pressing on, we have a quarter of a beat here, a half a beat here, and then 2 demi-semis, 2/8 give us a quarter, so we know that's 1 beat. And then we have a half of a beat here, a quarter of a beat here, 2/8 give us a quarter, all beamed together nicely to show us there's our next beat. A half a beat note and a half a beat rest, there's our next beat. A half a beat note, and then here we have a demi-semi rest, which if we count with these, we know that 4 demi-semis give us 2 semiquavers, or the equivalent of 1 quaver, 1/8 note. So a half and a half give us a beat. So how many is that then? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's that. And then this last bar isn't going to be complete because it says etc. But just to check that we're not jumping ahead too soon, we know that 4 demi-semis, 4 32nd notes are the same as 2 semis. So 2 semis and 2 semis give us 1 beat. So there's no way we're going to have enough to make a bar. So that's our last bar line, job done. And so the last question is, name the ornament on the first note of the extract. So this ornament here, so this little sort of vaguely W-shaped symbol is a mordant, and then this line here means it's a lower mordant where you alternate quickly down a note and back again from your melody note. It's a lower mordant. And that's the end of that question. We'll look at the next question in the next video. I do hope that's helpful to you. I hope it's helping you with your studies. I hope that this is useful to you. I'm certainly enjoying working through it with you. If you can give me a like, that would be really super. And please do share out the videos, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. And please do visit sharonbill.com and make use of all of the resource and information that's available to help you there. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.